Hi, I'm Bernard. If you haven't watched our technique video, watch that one first. Today we're going to talk about tips and tricks and some placement patterns for the tape-in type of extensions, more specifically known as extensives by She Hair. So each package covers about 3 inches in width as you're traveling around the head. Let me open one pack just to show you how that works. So as I pulled the package out of the sleeve, we'll pick this up and then I'm going to just show you this one here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. As we sandwich 2 together, this is 1.5 inches wide on top of another 1.5 inches wide. So then when I do it again, it becomes 3. What that does, it makes it a little bit easier to use a measuring tape to figure out how much hair you need to do a full head. So what I'd like to show you is on this mannequin head here, if I were going to start at the very bottom, keep in mind I'm going to do 4 rows all the way around the head, putting them right next to each other. It's my favorite way to do it. Feel free to experiment with many different placement patterns. I'm going to start at the 0 right here so I don't have to do any adding, just some division in a minute, but I'll start in the bottom and come across here. That's 3 inches. That's going to be 2 pieces, but I'll start at the 3, come again, and go around to here, staying away from the hairline, and then 2 more big rows around from the temple to the temple on the other side, and then again I'll go a little bit higher and come around like this, and I get right at 30 inches. If I were to divide that by 3, that would be 10 packs of hair. But sometimes if I have a low part on the right side and I feel like I need a little bit more hair up here, I'll just go one more little section, 3 inches right here, and that would be 1 more pack. So then I would have 33 inches divided by 3 would give me 11 packs of hair. It's a small head, but it's a pretty average amount of hair. Sometimes you may need 12 to 14 packs of hair to make it work. Let me put the mannequin to the side for a minute and pull in this hair comb rack. Don't forget, you can use this hair comb rack to organize your strand by strand or tape-in extensions. It's really nice for coloring the hair as well as curling or any other things that you want to do to prepare the hair ahead of time. We've already prepared different color mixes in our color ring where you can get a brown blonde mix even as light as 2 different blondes for a little more blending. What I did was stack 2 of these together, but don't ever forget that you can put on a person's head one solid color on top or underneath another solid color for even a better blend. You can either do it that way towards the bottom of the head and then transition to a lighter with the dark underneath towards the top of the head or vice versa. And this way you're building in your own ombre. Be creative. Let's go into a few tips and tricks. Although you can do full heads of extensions with both strand by strand and extensives, I want to mention some of the limitations with the tape-in type of extension. Many people say when you put them on the side of the head, there's a little trouble pulling your hair into a ponytail because that piece doesn't know whether to flip up or down. What I find is you can do a low ponytail where the hair kind of droops, or you can do a very high ponytail. But when you're coming straight back, it's the same limitation that you would have with sewed in, glued in wefts, or even any other type of extension technique other than strand by strand. So with that in mind, keep in mind that you can do some strand by strand on the side for smaller pieces, or cut the extensives in half or in thirds to put smaller pieces in on the side so that they flow a little more freely, and then do full-size extensives on the back of the head. One other thing I notice about extensives when they're going in 1.5 inches wide, some people have tried to put them in diagonally. I believe you should keep them horizontal or straight across, even with the ground at all times. Every time you start to lean it a little bit, the top corner pulls a little heavier than everywhere else and will start to cause a little damage. You want to keep them horizontal to the ground so that the weight is distributed evenly across the whole bond. And then the last thing I'd like to cover is that some people in a full section will only have hair in the middle and not have hair all the way to the edges. Make sure you maintain that thick section of hair all the way to the edges for proper support. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out any of our other videos on strand by strand and also other videos on this technique.